Hello and welcome to Darkest Dungeon 2. Now, this will be a new one to the channel. It's just, at the time of recording, it has just released about an hour or so ago. I've downloaded this and the soundtrack, of course. You get a discount actually if you own the previous game. You can get a bundle available that'll discount you a bit off. So I went and spent the extra money on the soundtrack, so I've been listening to the soundtrack whilst downloading the game, which were quite interesting. But, right, for those of you who are unfamiliar, Darkest Dungeon is about making the most of a bad situation. You are not expected to succeed on your first go, heroes will die, failure will be abound, and the world will seek to smother your flame. Take heart, do not relent, press forward, through the encroaching gloom and face your fears. Redemption at last can be found deep within the icy depths of the... Cue music. There we are. We're in Darkest Dungeon 2. So, new to the channel, not new to me. It took me ages to beat the original, but I did. It was really good, I'll admit. And I'm actually wondering if the volume is a little bit too quiet there. That seems a bit better. We'll try there, because the audio is quite important in this. You'd be surprised, but it really can be quite nice. There's some really good voice acting in this. So it is, if you're unfamiliar though, you'd have to be living under a rock to have not heard of it at this point. It's basically a party-based, turn-based RPG. So we're managing a little party of characters, and they've got different abilities and skills and that, and it's our job to get them to the end of this journey. Now, the first one, actually I'll let the cutscene roll here, and we'll discuss afterwards.
Has found you at last. My protege, my friend. Our calculations were correct. The ephemeral equation is unbalanced. The Earth spins on a strange and terrifying new axis. And everywhere, unbridled consequence. The world is a wasteland of failures past. And yet, you must ride out into it, unafraid. Take this. It is hope, the very last of it. It is yours now. You were bold once. Be bold once more. Free yourself from this suffocating stillness. Fix your gaze on the horizon. And face the fearsome truth of the darkest dungeon.
Right, here we are. Like I said, there's some very good voice
The seat of your denial, perched precariously in the murky gloaming.
So we've got the prologue to go here. We've got the stagecoach. So we can move this around. Now, again, if you're unfamiliar with Darkest Dungeon, I do believe I played through this in the Steam Next Fest, but I have played through the entirety of the original. It took me ages to beat because it is a long game and there's a lot of grind involved. So we can move the stagecoach around, we can bring up the stagecoach view to see things currently installed. Armor and wheels points, I guess, is a thing now. They weren't in the demo, so that's something that I'll need to keep a check on. Stagecoach items can be changed at the Wainwright, which will be at each inn, and they can repair armor and your wheels points for free. Okay. So,
I know failure well. I glimpsed it lurking at the ragged edges of your mind. I watched its venom spread through the veins of the world, and I trembled at its terrible reverberations.
So in the original, you'd lead these parts of the characters out.
Who will step forward into the light?
Guilt, loathing, failure, regret. I think this is where we choose our characters. So, in the original, we would choose a party of characters. So here we get to choose 4. Drag or double click to assemble your party of heroes. And positioning matters. Okay. So in the original, now that we've got a chance to kind of natter for a moment, basically you would lead your party of heroes, you would hire them in, they'd all come to town, you'd pick them and you'd create a roster, kind of XCOM style. And they'd each go out on these little adventures. You'd take 4 in a party into each of the various dungeons, and the whole point was to kind of destroy the corruption in each area and eventually take on the root cause of it, which was where your ancestor, whose basically land you've inherited, is now like the lord of that land. He unearthed this like evil Cthulhian, this eldritch Cthulhu altar beneath the mansion, and you're basically sealing it up, and that's the whole thing, right? The characters you'd have, so there wouldn't be the man-at-arms as like a hero. No, he would just be one of the classes. So there was a class that was called the Highwayman, there was a class that was called the Grave Robber here. This time they're more like Overwatch characters, there is the Plague Doctor, it's not a class, it's a named character with like a backstory and things now. So we're going to just slide these in.
More devastating than the horrors of 100 campaigns.
So to keep it simple, they've even put these in the correct order that we're meant to add them in to our group here at the bottom. As you can see, there's going to be more characters as we go, as we unlock, and it even comes up with a name for your party dependent on who you've added into it. So this is the unusual suspects. Right, so but before, we would go on lots of expeditions and would drag back loads of resources which we'd use to build up our lands in the town that we'd inherited, as we tried to remove the corruption from there.
Onward, and let us hope enough yet remains of the world.
So
the bulwark of your denial is giving way.
So this now is much more of a... It's gone away from this like selecting your party, doing your meta progression, send them into an expedition in the dungeon. It's now more like Slay the Spire style. Each journey lasts about, I think they're around 2 hours. So each journey might end up being, depending on how well we do here, it will probably be double episodes for a single journey, assuming we do reasonably well, which we may not. So let's focus down this backline guy first. And now, combat wise, I'm kind of just going through this here while I'm explaining it a bit, but the way combat works, each person will take their turn. Some units are faster than others. Let's see what we've got here. Some units are a bit faster. And we'll take their turn first. We can see the turn order up here. I could click on the tutorials here, yeah, based on turns. Oh god, they've got like a whole thing here. That's probably really what I need to take note of, the token glossary, because yeah, each hero rolls initiative at the beginning of each round, modified by their speed stat. So they roll for initiative and add their speed, I guess. So it's semi-random, but it looks like it's primarily determined by their speed. Turn order is shown by the portraits. Top right of the screen. Only a partial order is shown. You can plan ahead a little, but not completely. You can use a combat item if they're equipped. This is a free action. Then you use a normal skill. Yep. Let's see. See what ranks it can target. Yep. I know about that. And there's area effect skills. Yep. And they're going to cause variety of effects. Then we can see the effects they cause on here by holding control. Very nice, that's very handy. More games should do this. I hate it when they show these like random status effect tokens and you have no idea what they are. Right. Okay. So combat explained then. We are in a certain order. Certain attacks can only hit certain enemies. So for example, let's look at the grave robber. Pick to the face. They can use this from the first, second and third position. If you look at pick to the face, melee, those 3 yellow icons are the places which we can be in order to use this. The areas marked in blue are representing the enemy side, and they're the areas we can hit with this attack. So we can't hit the backline units with pick to the face. We can hit the backline with a thrown dagger, and we can hit the backline with flashing daggers. But we cannot use these when we're up front, because obviously then we're too close to the enemy, we're in close quarters. So we have to be in the back, we have to be in the second, third and fourth line to be able to use these abilities. You can see there then we've got things like poison dagger. Oh, that's another thing as well. So as well as thrown dagger, we've got flashing daggers. It does 2 to 3 damage, which is less than thrown daggers, but you can see the little line connecting those 2 dots. That means it will target both. Less damage, but hits 2 targets. Poison dart, we can use to just put a poison on them. It gets bonus to crit when the target has that effect on, which we can look is combo. So if we hit them with if we inflict something that puts combo on them, we can hit them with a thrown dagger or a pick to the face and it will trigger the combo bonus, same with poison dart. And then we've got some absinthe where the gravedigger will just take a swig, heal a bit, and they gain a bunch of stuff, which I think that's dodge and what's the other icon there? Speed. So it gives them a massive chance to dodge the next attack and they act faster next round if they take some absinthe. But they can only use that when they're at critical health. So you get the idea, kind of what the abilities are here. For the moment, we're just going to kind of swing at things, and if we need to do anything else, we'll start looking a bit more at detail about the abilities.
A simple variable.
You'll notice as
Easily
well when we
resolved.
killed those, it created these corpses on the floor. So enemies don't always move forwards when you've killed them. You know, the backline don't suddenly move forwards, it leaves a corpse in the way, you have to clear the corpse to then move people to the front. The corpse will eventually disappear anyway, but it takes a few turns. So we found a little trinket we can use as well. We could put that on someone.
Are you shaken? There is so much worse in store.
So let's see, this trinket will give them some various resistances. Resistance to death, I think that's stress, and debuff resistance. So, you know what? Who do I think is more likely to get debuffed? Well, who do I think is less likely to get debuffed? Because it's going to lower debuff resistance. Yeah, you can see it's -10 to debuff resistance. Okay, we've got treasures, and then there's... Okay. Let's roll then. So we've got past that barricade of enemies. Looks like we've got an event here. So there's some people that are out fleeing from all the chaos. What we're going to find here is our party members will come up with suggestions on what to do, what course of action to take. Heroes often have vastly different opinions on how to approach the situation. When you choose a response, any heroes that agree with the acting hero will have their mutual affinity increased. And those who disagree strongly will have their mutual affinity decreased. Right. Helping the locals is the best way to restore the flame. Right, so assistance encounters. So basically we can help the local populace. Our flame here, it's not just a case of, oh, it's a torch on the top of this wagon. No, this is kind of representative of basically our morale as we go through this. You know, it's the flame of hope, or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, it's representative of our morale. Folks are counting on us now. Fondest goodbyes to my old labs. So we're going to go with Dismas here. Hold. They agree that we should help.
Hope springs in the unlikeliest places.
And we get a reward for helping them out. So we've now equipped, we've got a combat item, so as it mentioned in the earlier tutorial, we can use that as a free action. Oh, we are just going apparently. Ah! Let's slow down, hang on, right. Inventory. Remove horror management stress, plus 15 one target. Glimmer of hope. Okay. Oh, that's not a wait, is it? In item. Yeah, combat item. Oh, I'm putting it in the trinkets area. There's the combat item. And this removes horror, but gives a bit of stress. Laudanum. That sounds like something that a plague doctor would carry about with them.
You can feel it. A change in the air. You see,
Another barricade,
even
so
your
we'll have another
valley is
encounter
not
here.
immune to the spreading stain.
Ooh, it's a bit nastier this time. What have we got here? Hero selection. Oh my good god, that's a lot. Well, let's see what we can get here. Hero sheet. Yeah, we've looked at the hero sheet. You can always see the hero stats, quirks, diseases, trinkets, mouse over, tooltips showing buffs and debuffs. Yep. This tab shows you the current affinity or relationship with each other hero. Lots of affinity pips means that they are on friendly terms, few means they're unfriendly. Quirks are positive or negative personality traits. Quirks with... tell them what that is. Unknown thing. Oh, I guess that just means yeah, I guess that icon represents it being rare. Negative quirks can be removed at the field hospital. Positives can be reinforced, locked in place as well. We've got our combat skills. You may equip 5 skills at a time, but there is a dedicated 6th slot for combat items. Each has 11 skills that may eventually be unlocked. Right. So we can just click on them to toggle them on and off. Yep. If they only have 5 skills available, you must visit Shrines of Reflection to unlock more. And we can also look at conditions present on the hero. Yeah, yep, got it. Got it. Your shared inventory is split between all item types. Some items stack well, whereas others take an entire slot. Yeah. Got it. Right, let's batter them. I think we need to kill the supports first, so we'll give that a go. So you notice that hit both of them. So as I mentioned earlier, you can get like multiple hits with certain abilities. I'm gonna try and get build up some poison on this one. So this should eyes resisted it down. They're pulling, yeah, they're trying to protect people to the forefront of it. We can use Rampart here. Or even hold the line, let's see. Rampart will do 3 to 6, moves forward 1, target gets knocked back. Down speed 6, self move. Let's shield ourselves that bit of
All heroes are human.
block. Move forwards 3, and then we get immobilized, I think. Right. Go. See if I can finish these. Oh, God, protected by the woodsman. Right, so we can't really hit them at the moment, so we'll work over the back. And they've got horror afflicted on them, so they're going to get more stressed each round. Now, because this hits both of these in an AoE, even though they're guarded, we can still hit them. Right, we're gonna have to hit this guy because we can't. He'll just block for them. So we'll try and hit him again with some. Hitting him with the poison isn't working, is it? So yeah, these two at the back just stress you out slowly over time. So they've now got 2 stress. Yeah, looking at the bottom, he's only got 20 blight resistance. He's actually been very lucky to not get killed by that blight there. This should finish the widow off. There we go.
A simple variable, easily resolved.
Wicked slice. See, you know what, we'll try and hit them at the back with the pistol. I'm still going to try and hit these with the poison. We've finally got them. So this is pretty good, this. The blight will build up. It will deal 4 damage each turn for 2 more turns. She's being protected by the woodsman now, so yeah, screwed over there. He's hitting with some poison, but
The fiend's strength.
as you can see, it builds up now, so it's now 6 blight over 5 turns. Right. he has resisted. Yeah, he's not dead yet. So this is an interesting mechanic. Now, it used to be that this would happen to your heroes, but on the second one now, on Darkest Dungeon 2, it happens to all heroes and enemies. So all combatants, it will basically, when you get to 0 health, you have a chance of dying. So as we can see here in the bottom right, he has a 25%, so at DTH, that's his death resistance. So when he gets hit with any damage, there's a 25% chance, once he's lost all his health, 25% chance that he resists it and keeps fighting. So there's a 1 in 4 chance that this doesn't kill him here. You can hit her like that. I'm wondering actually if it is like a 1-to-1. Yeah, his death resistance now is at 5%. I'm assuming that's what it is. But yeah, we can do it all over here. So yeah, damage over time. We know how that works. Crits. Yeah, when a crit is struck, does several things. Normal attacks do 150% damage. The status effects last 2 additional rounds and ignore 20% resistance. Heals are 150% effective. And then yeah, we've got Death Restore here. Repeated blows from once while it's in Death Door will also reduce its death blow resistance. So he's down to almost nothing now. Our Wicked Slides here, you can see on the left, has 20% resistance, death resistance piercing, so this should finish him.
All problems have their solutions, even the big ones.
So we've got to remove these corpses or hit her with abilities that hit the backline, but as I mentioned, they will eventually go away on their own, these things. We'll need a nudge. There we go. Right, we'll also read the stress tooltip here. So all heroes have stress. Heroes begin the expedition at 0, gain it through a wide variety of events. It can be lowered with combat items, in-items, skills and more. As it mounts, a hero will become more irate, and this increases the chance of negative affinity changes with other heroes. Try to keep it low to promote a harmonious party. So, and then if they fill it completely, they'll suffer a meltdown. They suffer immediate affinity loss with all other heroes, and they drop to low HP. An ill-timed meltdown can ruin an expedition. Yep. So you have to be careful. Ooh, got a Candle of Hope. Lovely. So that's like the meta
Push on
currencies.
to the inn. Rest and resupply await you.
Right, let's see how we fare at the inn then.
Rest tonight. Under the mountain's unblinking gaze.
Okay. 2 candles gained for reaching the inn. Continue. Right. You found your fortitude at last. Collect what hope you can and end your expedition. Prologue complete. Well, no one really needs to heal much. But this it adds max HP, doesn't it? It's a 5% chance they get diseased or get a dodgy quirk. No, instead he's nice and buff now. Hey. Have a combat item. But I'm doing all this and I'm fairly certain. Prologue is complete. For his first venture through the valley, there is nothing left to do. End the expedition at the lower left of the unit screen. Normally it can be ended in 3 ways. Victory, defeat, or you abandon it. You abandon it. Then we've got our Candles of Hope. So, yeah. Even when an expedition is sure lost, it's worth pressing on to get more candles. They can make the next journey easier. Too bad we can't.
Shall we
just keep
continue?
going.
Or is the lesson too demanding?
And that's the prologue done.
Remain undeterred, and you will yet prevail.
At any point you can end and collect your Candles of Hope during normal expeditions. Making it to the next thing is usually worth the effort because it will award significant additional candles. Ah, look, there's a destroyed stagecoach. Those are our predecessors. So is this the Altar of Hope? It is. So this is where we get some meta progression. So let's see what we get. Each expedition earns you Candles of Hope. The altar is where you spend them to unlock new classes, items, pets, and more. Ooh, get pets now. For this first visit, you must visit the working fields.
Spare a thought for tools of iron. Such implements will serve us well.
Trinkets, combat items, stagecoach items, inn items. This is where you unlock more trinkets, combat items, yep. It is vital to continue unlocking items, so spend some candles here whenever you can. Each item unlocked at this altar is also immediately granted into your inventory for this current expedition. So if we want a certain item, so it could go for some trinkets.
Every twinkling recollection is another implement at our disposal.
So gain on miss if first in turn order. Start. Okay. We get 33% block. So I guess put that on a tank. We'll get a stagecoach item.
A welcome advancement in the science of survival.
I guess we'll get one of each of these.
A drop of sanity in a sea of madness.
Interesting. Ooh, +4 speed until next inn. Very nice. Right. Okay, I think that's going to do it for this episode. That's going to clear the prologue out of the way. We'll start proper next time, and I hope to see you then for that. But until then, well, I'll see you next time.